That's okay, I've been known to make brats and hot dogs.
Okay, good evening. I would like to call this meeting of the West Dallas West Milwaukee School Board to order, please. Would you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? Ms. Justin, would you please lead us?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Suzette, would you please call the roll?
I will. Mr. Ustra.
Here.
Mr. Bailey.
Present.
Mr. Keller.
Here.
Mrs. Sujecki. Here. Mrs. Justum. Here. Ms. Emmons. Here. Mr. Lee.
Here.
Ms. Curran. Here. And President Sickett.
Present. Proper notice of this meeting has been posted in accordance with the open meeting laws of the state of Wisconsin. Board members and Dr. Lexman, any modifications or adjustments to tonight's agenda?
Yeah, I'd like to ask that we separate 9.2 employment summary and supplementary contracts. And it's a circumstance where a board member needs to be recused to a family relationship that's being considered for a change in contract.
Okay, that's it?
That's it.
Board members? Seeing none, we'll move on to public comments. Suzette, when you were back there, did we have any?
Let me take a look.
Brian's got it. We have none. We shall move into the superintendent's report then.
Great, so we're going to start with 7.1. I'm really pleased that we're offering a proclamation of gratitude to distinguished donor Gregory Zeman and the Zeman Family Foundation, and I will turn it over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Lexman. It is my privilege and my honor to be able to read this distinguished donor. Ms. Gaylor, do you want to present that to Gregory? And I'll read it from here, and then I'll come around. Thank you. Proclamation for Gregory Zeman and the Zeman Family Foundation, Inc. Distinguished donor to the West Dallas West Milwaukee School District. Whereas Gregory Zeman, as an alumni of the West Dallas West Milwaukee School District, having graduated from West Milwaukee High School and serving as the founder of the Zeman Family Foundation, Inc. And whereas Gregory Zeman and the Zeman Family Foundation, Inc. have been devoted to having a positive impact on multiple organizations in the United States seeking to support human need rather than material values of life. And whereas Gregory Zeman and the Zeman Family Foundation, Inc. have donated over $1 million to the West Dallas West Milwaukee School Districts for projects such as winter coats for children, holiday meals, sports equipment, auditorium renovations at West Milwaukee High School, and support for the West Dallas West Milwaukee School District Education Foundation. And whereas, in addition to improving the lives of people in the West Dallas West Milwaukee School District, Gregory Zeman and the Zeman Family Foundation, Inc. has specifically provided ongoing generous financial support of the annual Children's Target Shopping event, which has touched the lives of thousands of children and continues to have a positive impact on our community and citizens. Now, therefore, let it be resolved that we, the members of the Board of Education of the School District West Dallas West Milwaukee et al., honor Gregory Zeman and the Zeman Family Foundation, Inc. as a distinguished donor notable for contributions to our district and compassion for our children and their needs, and that as expression of our warm appreciation and thankfulness be formally recorded and presented. Be it further resolved that a copy of this testimonial be formally recorded in the official minutes of the Board of Education of the School District of West Dallas West Milwaukee et al. And signed by present officers and members of the Board of Education on November 27th, 2017. Thank you very much.
On behalf of our district and most of all our children, we want to give you this distinguished donor award. And since I'm here, but I'll hand that sucker now.
Thank you very much. On behalf of my foundation, I just heard 720 kids on the night, so I'm very pleased to hear. And we will be there. We will be there at 7 in the morning. my son too, so we can experience the Target shopping event. But thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Okay, that was awesome.
Is that a new segment in our meetings, every board meeting now, we're going to have our distinguished donor acknowledgement?
That would be great. So we'll go on to 7.2, legislative update. There's very little activity right now. But what we are sharing with the board is DPI released a video titled How Our Public School System Came to Be, which is definitely worth taking a few minutes to watch. It just gives you a quick history on the history of the development of kind of public schools in Wisconsin, and there's an active link there, and it's available to the public through board docs as well. There's nothing new at the federal level as well. 7.3, there are no congratulatory resolutions this evening. And 7.4, real quick, just a couple updates and information items. Public comments from November 13th. We heard an invitation inviting the board and the public to James and the Giant Peach at Central High School, which I saw closing night. I always like closing night because it's the emotional night, when you see the high school kids kind of go through all of the letting go and the process. And so I very much enjoyed it. They did an amazing job, and it was fun to see that program really grow and evolve. There was also, just before the last meeting in the break, we had the veterans events at Irving and then the lunch at FLW, which was fascinating for me. And I sat across the table from a vet who was in the Air Force, and his last assignment was about 5 miles from where we spent the summer in Upper Michigan. He was at K.I. Sawyer Air Force Base. It was fascinating to change stories about what it was like when we experienced the planes flying over and practicing, and he was the one loading them up. A couple updates. We're in the transition now with Mike Weaver coming on as our Director of Finance and Operations, and so he's officially in his first full day. But the transition also includes Andy Cromie spending about 4 hours a week, for the foreseeable future. It won't go on forever, but so that they have 4 hours each week together to really check in and to make sure things are staying on track. And I think that's a good support for Mike as he comes on board. We had the community breakfast of Thanksgiving, and I wanted to thank board members and everybody from the staff that was there. I think it's a powerful way for us to contribute to the health and well-being of the West Allis, West Milwaukee community. There's an upcoming event at the Village at Manor Park, and that'll be coming up this week. And it's a different kind of toy drive. So I have to explain this a little bit to the board and the public. It really is an idea of helping young people that are usually on the receiving end of kind of gifts and events during the holiday season to also learn about what it means to give and give back. And so they've organized a toy drive, and there's going to be students from Pershing. We're bringing students over in 2 groups. And the students are going to have an opportunity to go into kind of a toy corral or a shopping space and pick out a toy that they're then going to give for somebody that needs it even more than they might. Right, so it's a way to teach young people that are often receiving gifts at that time of year also to give. So I think it's kind of a cool event, and I'm going to spend some time there just to see how that goes. And then the last little update, we've engaged Springstead. Springstead is our financial advisor, but we've also engaged them to conduct an open enrollment survey. If the board recalls, we attempted to do our own internal survey last year. And the administration of it was just not effective in the way we did it, and so with the data that we got back was just not going to be very helpful. So this is about a $13,000 contract. We have some planning meetings coming up to make sure they're asking the questions we really want explored, and then they will be professional phone calls and translation into Spanish where it's needed. So we get a much better picture of what's happening with open enrollment out in particular. They'll do some calls to in, but we really wanted them to focus on open enrollment out so we understand those dynamics more completely. And that completes my update.
Thank you. We'll move on to number 8, the Board of President's Report. Before I get into the calendar, I would like to look over at Mike and say welcome aboard to your new part of the ship. And call your attention to tonight's meeting. After this meeting, we will have a workshop on the learning technology and the school report cards. Following that, we will have a closed session meeting. On Monday, December 11th, we have our regular Board of Education meeting, followed by the Business Services Workshop, which will be about the budget calendar and the maintenance report. Monday, December 18th, we will have our regular Board of Education meeting, and right now we do not have a workshop scheduled following that meeting. Monday, January 8th, regular Board of Education meeting, and following that will be our Business Services Workshop, which will be about the 216, 217 audit report and open enrollment and 220 seats. Just a reminder to the public that our school regular meetings start at 6 o'clock. They are televised. Our workshops are not televised, however, they are open to the public. Any board members have any community dates that we should be aware of? Stephanie?
Sure. At Frank Lloyd Wright for this Sunday, we are doing a sale at Barnes & Noble. Where it's like similar to a restaurant out and about. But if you go and purchase items at Barnes & Noble at Brookfield Square on Sunday, part of the proceeds goes back to FLW into the classrooms. And also that sale extends throughout the week online with an online book code. So I did bring some flyers to hand out to everybody here. So if everybody has Barnes & Noble shopping to do, let it benefit one of our schools.
Thank you. Anyone else?
I think
Sir?
I don't want to announce it myself, I think the parade that's coming up.
Oh, Saturday, yes.
So, you know, there's some local things that you might want to tell the public about.
I do not know the time that starts.
4:45.
4:45? Because I am not going to be in town this weekend, so I didn't really look at it, because I knew I wouldn't be there. But just a reminder that I think we need to respond to Shelley, RSVP, whether you're going to be there or not.
If you're not busy in the morning, Horseman has their craft and vendor fair on this Saturday. And then I know that the downtown shops are open in the afternoon. They have ice sculpting and all that downtown West Dallas from 70th to 76th.
Very good. Anyone else? Okay, we'll move on to the consent agenda. We'll take items 9.1, the approval of the minutes from November 13th regular meeting and the November 20th board workshop, and 9.3, the financial summary together.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion or questions or comments? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Abstain? None. We will take 9.2, the employment summary and supplemental contracts, and this is one where I will be recusing myself because my wife is on it. You are also. So we have two that will be out.
Okay.
Move to approve. Second.
Second.
Any discussion or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. We'll move on to our action items. 10.1, the field trip to Washington, D.C. in October of 2018, the Frank Lloyd Wright students.
So we'll turn this one over to Deidre, and we have the teachers here that are organizing the experience for young people.
Very cool.
So you guys saw the field trip request. It's for an additional trip for next year for the Frank Lloyd Wright team to go to Washington, D.C., so I will pass it over to them for any questions that you guys may have.
Okay, good evening. I'm Jay Tennell Saracasso from FLW, and we're here to ask for permission for the field trip, our Washington, D.C. field trip next year. We've been doing this, it's been somewhat of a tradition for the past, I don't know how many years, but we go every other year for 7th and 8th grade. This year, or next year, it's scheduled for October 11th to the 13th. We have, at this point, 65 participants already signed up. It's an all-inclusive trip through the travel agency World Strides. It includes airfare, buses, hotel night security, meals, tours. It's just been a really nice trip. I went for the first time last year. Sarah's been on it for quite a few years now. Very enriching curriculum, government, civics, a lot of history. You know, as I tell the parents when we set this thing up, it's just, I mean, it's jam-packed. There's no time for swimming and all that stuff. So it's really been a nice trip. We're excited about it, and yeah, we're hoping to go next fall.
I have some, these are some of the things from the company
also decided to go with this company this time because they do scholarships for kids and stuff like that. They actually, any family who, I think it's less than 80,000 is up for money, extra money to pay for the trip and stuff like that.
Awesome.
And then they set up kind of like a GOMI fund for the kids, can set that up too to help raise money as well, so.
I think this trip is awesome. I was looking at the itinerary, and all those things in there are really great. So if you need extra chaperones or anything like that, just let me know. I'd be happy to help. I think it really hits a lot of the things, historically, civics, as you mentioned. I mean, it's the who's and where to go in Washington, D.C., and things to see, and I think it's great. So I'm full support.
Great, thank you.
Dan?
Thank you, Jeff. I want to thank both of you for continuing to take the time outside of school to educate our children. I know my wife are extremely excited because this year, or next year, I should say, our grandson is going on this trip. So we are really excited. I did look at the itinerary, and to get all that in is just fantastic. I don't know how you do it, but you do it. And I think taking that curriculum on a trip like this is fantastic. Thank you very much, and safe journey.
Thank you.
Anyone else? I also would like to thank you. I attended a school, elementary school here in the city many years ago, and took a trip to Washington, D.C. as a cadet in 6th grade. And I have those memories burned in my mind like you can't believe. It was a super trip, and you're there with all your friends, so thank you for putting in the time to do something special for our students.
Thank you.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any other last-minute comments? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Congratulations.
All right.
It's
Thank you very much.
a goal.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming this evening. Wow, that went by fast. I didn't expect to see number 11 already.
No reports.
No report. Oh, anybody looking to add any workshops? Not right now?
Nothing
Okay, we'll give you a month to think about it. All right. We will take a 5-minute recess while Brian takes down the cameras, and then we will reconvene for our discussion and workshop on learning and technology. We are at recess.